Hey, hey, I am Izna. I am here to help you embody your desires and get the life you dream. So, I am a manifestation and mindset coach. If you have any questions about my services or anything that I offer, please check out my description box below. You can go ahead and find everything you need to know about how to contact me, what I offer, and everything else in my description. Okay? So, hi. If you are new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. I would really appreciate it if you'd stick around. If you are returning, welcome back. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Today we're gonna do a video on, I'm gonna try and make this short, but I can't promise it will be. Sorry. I'm gonna do a video about the 5 basic things, the 5 things it takes to create your desires. Okay? Lip gloss real quick, sorry. So, these are the 5 things that I've used successfully to create things that I want. Okay? Now keep in mind, this does not mean that you can't use other things. These are just my 5 basic things that I come back to every single time I want to create something. Okay? So, what does that mean? Well, 9 times out of 10, if I'm doing anything, if I'm trying to create something, these are the steps that I come back to. Okay? So keep in mind, these are my go-to steps. So, I'm going to give you a small little crash course in the 5 steps that I use in order to create. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to use them. So let's start with number 1, because I think it's the simplest and most easy. So number 1 is, I have notes, so that's why I'm reading over here, just so you know. Number 1 is believe you deserve it. Believe you deserve it. Whatever it is that you are trying to create, whatever it is that you are thinking about, whatever it is that you desire, you need to believe that you're worthy. You need to believe that you can have it. You need to believe that, it is yours. Respect yourself. Know that you can have this. Know that you deserve this. Know that you've created other things, and this is just another piece in your puzzle. Okay? This is nothing that is hard. This is nothing that is beyond you. This is nothing that you're not worthy of. This is nothing that, oh my God, I shouldn't want this. No, you absolutely should. It's yours. You are absolutely capable of having it. You should want it because you thought it. So go get it. Okay? It's really that simple. And I know a lot of people say, well, I don't believe in myself. How do I get over that? Guys, that's a self-esteem issue. That's a self-esteem issue. If you aren't in a place where you believe that you deserve it, that you're worthy, then you need to start working on your self-esteem. You do. It's not up for discussion. You're going to keep coming back to the idea of, I'm not worthy, I'm not valuable, I'm not enough, I can't, there's no way I should be asking for this, I can't want this, I'm not capable of this. Okay, if this is the part that you're in, if you're stuck at step number 1 here, the reason you're stuck at step number 1 is not because you don't want something, not because you're not capable of having something. It's because you are capable of it, but you're stuck in a process. Hold on, my light's being weird, sorry. The flash is all weird, that's why. Sorry. If you're stuck in this process and it's making it so that you are feeling like you are separate from what you want, if you're outside of what you want, if you're questioning whether or not you can have it, the reason is because you don't feel worthy. You don't feel good enough. Okay? So that is self-esteem, guys. That is you realizing your worth, your value. Okay? I can't stress enough how important this is, and if there is any shame, any guilt, any trauma, any underlying things that have happened in your life about you and your story, you need to address them. You do. You need to address them. It's not an option. This goes deeper than self-concept. So if you're saying to me, oh, but I've done all the self-concept work, I know I'm worthy. No, you don't. It's deeper than that, guys. There's an underlying story about who you are, what you're capable of, and whether or not you're worthy of what you want. Okay, and I'm speaking about this from personal experience, because once you actually start getting self-esteem and you actually have it, I'm not talking about, oh yeah, I'm confident, I'm bold, I'm fierce, I'm amazing. No, once you actually have self-esteem and you know your value, you know you're worthy, then you're going to respect yourself. And there's a difference there. So if you're second guessing yourself and you're sitting there going, God, I don't know if I should accept that. I don't know. I feel like I'm settling. I'm asking for bread, or I'm just getting breadcrumbs and I'm accepting them. You probably are. And this version of you right now that is accepting breadcrumbs, the reason that you're accepting breadcrumbs is because you're afraid if you don't accept the breadcrumbs, you're not going to get anything more. Okay? I know I'm not supposed to say that. I know I'm supposed to sit there and say, oh, no, you're fine. Go ahead and accept whatever you want. Having done this, I know for a fact that I accepted breadcrumbs because I wasn't feeling valuable. I wasn't feeling worthy. If I didn't accept breadcrumbs, I wouldn't have anything. Breadcrumbs were better than nothing, right? So not respecting myself, not showing up for myself, not valuing myself, settling and accepting was better than having nothing, right? No, not at all. Not at all. So now I'm in a place where it's like, no, you show up right or you don't show up at all. I don't need you. I'm better off sitting there and, starting from scratch rather than sitting there and fucking accepting breadcrumbs. Period. I'm just not. I'm not going to put up with it. If you're in a place where you can't say that, you're not there yet, that's fine. But you need to work on your self-esteem. You need to work on your self-esteem. Okay? There are plenty of self-esteem subliminal tracks. If you want to do it as a subliminal track, put it on at night, let it run just like the other ones do. Okay? Let it run just like the other ones. And let it work through your system. Now keep in mind, self-esteem is going to be something, at least for me, I have to be honest about this. Self-esteem is going to be something that you are always going to be working on. Self-esteem is something that is constantly being questioned, constantly being nitpicked at, and constantly is going to need reassurance. It just is. We live in a society that constantly tears apart people's worth, constantly devalues people. Okay? So self-esteem is not going to be something that you're just going to be like, done, feel better. No, this is going to be an ongoing thing as far as self-esteem is concerned. And do not think that this is a quick fix. If you're looking for a quick fix, how do I get my desire now? That's not going to be it. Okay? It's just not. Now, will this be a long-term fix that's going to make it so that you feel better overall and you can continue to create and manifest reliably and consistently moving forward? Yes. But you've got to get over this hurdle. It just is one of those things. You just got to do it. It's creating old patterns for you. It's creating old habits. It's creating disrespect. It's creating a lot of things that you don't want in your life. So until you tackle this, until you actively become aware of this and create a space for yourself where there is self-love and acceptance, you can't move on from it, because that's the space you're going to be creating from. Okay? So, number two is clarity, guys. Clarity comes into play because so many people ask me, well, how do I know? How do I know what I want? I don't know. I can't tell you what you want. I can tell you what I want. I know what I want. How do I base what it is that I want? How do I go about figuring that out? That I can tell you. How do I figure out what I want to create. I focus on what I desire. How do I come to that? Well, I realize that if I'm focusing, or I'm realizing, like, as I'm doing this, right, I do something and it makes it so that I think to myself, I don't like that. I don't like the way that felt. I don't like the way that that happened. I don't like the way that that appeared. I didn't like that. It made me uncomfortable. There was something about that I didn't like, right? There was something about that situation that was like, man, ooh, right? Okay, well then that right there, ding, 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 that is a huge red flag sitting there telling you, right? Pay attention, pay attention. This is something we don't like, okay? So whatever it is that is happening, right? You're being disrespected and somebody's calling you out and somebody's bullying you, somebody's being mean, somebody's being or rude, or any of those things. Pay attention. Pay attention. Okay? Because if you are having stuff like that happen, that right there is a clear indicator of what you don't want. And the easiest way, 9 times out of 10, to figure out what you do want is by paying attention to what you don't. I'm not saying focus on it. Don't dwell in it. We're not going to sit here and be like, God, I hate that. No, you don't do that. We don't do that, because then that's focusing on it and we're putting energy into it, and we don't want to do that, because then that's just going to draw more of whatever we don't want, right? And we don't want to do that, because then our thoughts and our feelings and everything is creating that, and we don't want that. Okay? So what we do want to do, though, is be like, yeah, I really didn't like that. So what's the opposite of that, right? And keep in mind, a lot of people think, there are some definite fallacies when it comes to what the opposites of certain things are, okay? So the opposite of love is not hate, okay? And the opposite of fear is love, okay? So keep in mind, if you're afraid of something, then you need to figure out how to love something, okay? Or add more love, okay? If something is creating too much love for you and somebody's being obsessive or whatever, one, I would invite you to maybe get some help, because if you're feeling in trouble or in a dangerous situation, get some help, okay? And two, know that the opposite of that type of situation or whatever is not fear, it's not hate, it's indifference, okay? So if you want somebody to sit there and leave you alone, if you're in a difficult situation and they will not leave you alone, or you want somebody to stop talking to you, forget about you, walk out of your life, whatever it is, okay? Stop giving them awareness. Become indifferent. Okay? Now keep in mind, if you're being disrespected, respect is the opposite of disrespect, right? Kindness is the opposite of rudeness. Okay? Somebody's being cheap and stingy with you, then having them being generous is the opposite of that, right? And of course, if somebody is being, hateful and mean, just in general, you can actually make it really simple if you just want to say that they're really super thankful and grateful for everything they have, right? Because that makes it so that they're an incredibly different person, okay? So 9 times out of 10, whenever we're approaching certain things, we want to look at them and be like, God, I just want something, but then you don't ask for the right things. So I encourage you, if you're sitting there and trying to create a new situation, to actually ask yourself, what is it that I actually want? What do I actually want in my awareness, right? And be clear about it, right? Because our subconscious mind needs clear instructions. So whenever you're creating something, like I did, right? In my past, I'll use an example for me. I said I wanted someone to be how they were in the beginning. Now this person completely showed up how they were in the beginning. The problem is, though, is that I didn't want everything about this person and how they were in the beginning. I wanted their behavior towards me in the beginning of our friendship, our relationship, but I did not want all of their behavior, right? And because I made a blanket statement of they show up how they did in the beginning, then it brought back all of it. So be clear in what it is that you actually want, okay? Sometimes things like this, though, are good because with me, at least, I got shown pretty quickly that behavior, right? That's not what I was asking for. And then I was able to tweak it and ask for more specific things, okay? So always remember, of course, anytime you're clarifying, this is not set in stone. This is not like, oh my God, I made a choice, so now I can't undo it. No. And this directly ties into the third thing, which I'll get into in just a second, but this is not set in stone, guys. This is just making a choice about how we're moving forward, okay? I've already done everything in my previous versions. I know what I don't want. I know that stuff doesn't serve me anymore. I know that's not who I want to be. I want to be better. I'm choosing better. I'm moving forward, and I'm saying this is what's going to happen forward. This is what I'm creating forward, right? So sometimes whenever we're creating this, we think to ourselves, oh God, well, if I choose this, this, and this, then I can't go back. I can't change it. Oh my God, then I'm going to make a choice, and I can't shift it. I can't adjust it. Yeah, you can. If you adjusted it to what it is, then you can definitely adjust it to something else. Okay? So don't lock yourself in. Don't say to yourself, oh my God, this is set in stone. It's not. It's not until you say it is. Okay? Now, if you find a place or a spot or whatever that you like, then you can say this is the way it is forevermore, and that would be completely up to you. But you do not have to choose to have it be permanent until you're ready. But again, you get to decide that. You're the one with the answers. You're giving yourself permission. You are the one who has that choice, no one else. So give yourself the permission to do all of it, right? If you want to tweak it, it's up to you. If you want to start all over, it's up to you. If you want to create something completely different, it's up to you. It's not up to me. It's not up to him. It's not up to her. It's not up to your mama. It's not up to your grandpa. No, it's not up to any of them. It's up to you. Your reality, your choices. You're the only one that can give yourself permission to do and be who you want to be. So do it. You're the one with the answers. If you want it and it means something to you and you keep thinking about it and you keep mulling over in your head and you're like, God, I don't know if I should want this. What do I do? Just give yourself permission. It's okay. You're not you're not asking anyone for permission but yourself. So if you're fine with it, if you somehow, and I don't mean this to sound in a bad way, but somehow you can justify it to yourself, you don't even need to justify it to yourself. If you want it, you want it. It's okay, right? So give yourself the permission to want what you want. It's really okay. You don't need to sit there and be telling people, oh God, but I shouldn't want this. Or beating yourself up about it. It's your choice. Whatever it is, it's okay. Be clear and know what you want. And don't sit there and be like, oh God, but I shouldn't. No, you should. Absolutely, you should. Especially if you're trying to be a better, more badass version of yourself. If this is the path that it takes to get there, then saddle up. Go to town, have a good time. And don't sit there and apologize to anyone. And definitely don't beat yourself up about it. This is your journey, no one else's, and how you choose to get from point A to point B is all up to you. No one else. Okay? So, that leads into step number 3. Step number 3 is about choosing and deciding. It's really a decision, guys. There is no other easy way to say that. It's a decision. Once you know what you want, you make a decision, and that's the end of it. Like, no, it's happening, right? Like, I'm getting up, I'm going to the grocery store. Okay, then I get up and I go to the grocery store. I'm not going to sit here for 16 hours or 2 weeks or whatever. God, should I go to the grocery store? Do they have what I want? Maybe they don't have what I want. Maybe I should order online. Maybe I should go to a different grocery store. Should I take the car? Should I take the bus? Like, I don't do any of that. You don't do any of that. We don't sit there and overthink something and make it hard. Stop making things hard, guys. There is nothing to sit here and overthink about. You make a choice and you go forward with it. That's the end of it. This is not hard. If you're battling yourself, if you're overthinking, if you're constantly second guessing yourself, the reason this is hard and you're getting burnt out and you're God, I can't do this. This is too much. This is way too hard, is because you're literally thinking something, rethinking something, overthinking something, rethinking it again, overthinking it again, thinking it again, okay, you don't need to keep battling yourself. The only reason you're doing that is because you aren't making a choice. Make a choice. Stop sitting there and letting there be option, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever. No, there's option A, and that is it. This is what is happening. This is the truth. This is all there is. This is only one outcome. That's the end of it. So if there's more than one outcome, the only person you have to blame is you. Don't even blame your person. Don't blame that job. Don't blame those people. Don't blame anything else. Right here. It needs to be you. And you need to take responsibility for the fact that you had multiple choices. You weren't choosing. You were sitting there and letting there be B, C, D, E, F. No, There's option A, baby. That's it. That's all there is. That's all there needs to be. That is all there is. No questions. No answers. No statements. No judgments. Don't care. End of story. There is no other option. Period. There is no breadcrumbs. There is no settling. There is no compromises. There is not any other fucking opinions. No. There's option fucking A. Period. This is called making a choice. You choose what you fucking want. You get clear on it. You tweak in. You dial in. You make it happen. You get clear in your head. You're honest with yourself, right? This is just like if you're choosing to sit there and become a doctor or become a lawyer, right? You do all the freaking work to make it happen, and then you do it, right? You don't go to school to become a doctor for 15, 16 years, and then at the end of it, you decide, this is too hard, I'm done. You made a choice. You commit to it. You got up every single day. You did your internship. You did the long days. You did the early mornings. You did the overnights. You did all the work. You passed the exams, right? So I know some of you are sitting there saying, well, how does that equate to creating? Okay, but being a doctor is like creating, right? Because what is it that we're actually doing? Well, whenever we're out in the 3D, when we're interacting with other people, when we're talking to our friends, when we're talking to people who aren't aware, who aren't conscious, those are our tests, right? When we're constantly getting shown stuff that we don't want, that's us putting in the work. That's us being an intern and working those overnights, right? Pushing back against it and saying, no, I want this more, right? And every time somebody sits there and shows up, how the not best version of it, not ideal, right? That is us passing an exam, okay? So at the end of all that, right, if you've committed to it, then you get to be a doctor, right? Or you get your creation, you get your desire. But the choice here is, do you commit to it? Do you decide? Do you sit around and second guess it and be like, God, I don't know, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of time. What if it doesn't work out? What if I can't do this? What if I'm not strong enough? What if he wants something else, right? When I'm coaching, what is the number one thing people say to me? Yes, Izna, but no, really, no, but you don't, Okay. So I'm going to say it right now so that you guys can all hear it, because I say it to my clients all the time. So I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm saying this because it's the truth, guys. If you have a but, if there's an and, if there's a maybe, if there's a what if there's a but, no, if there's a anything else, right? If you say your desire, right? I'm going to be a successful millionaire, but no, that is you still having another option, giving somebody else free will, giving something else energy. No, the option is I am going to be a fucking millionaire. That's all there is, guys. There's a choice. So if you want to sit there and fucking say your affirmations and do all the work, but then you constantly sit there and are second guessing them and are unsure of whether or not they're going to happen, you're constantly doing one half of it, and then this half of it, the second guessing, the what if, the questioning, is overshadowing this. There's no way this can happen if this overshadowing is happening. You can't have both. You can either have what you want, or you can question what you want, but you can't have both. You have it, or you keep asking yourself, when is it going to come? Right? And that's another common thing that you guys like to ask. When's it going to happen? I haven't seen it. When's it going to happen? I put so much work in. When's it going to happen? Guys, time is irrelevant. You're making it hard. If you would just make a choice and stick to it, commit to it, stop asking so many questions. Just be faithful to yourself. Be faithful to your choices. You don't sit there and keep battering yourself back and forth. Yeah, but this. No, but that. Yeah, but this. Maybe this. No, but that. No. Stop. There's one option, guys. One. That's it. That's all. About everything you desire, it comes down to one option. One. There is no other option. I don't care if there's a million different circumstances and it seems completely impossible and it seems daunting and catastrophic and absolutely apocalyptic. One option. One. Choose and move forward. Make a choice. You tell me, what is the option? What do you want? You make a choice. You stick to it. You stay loyal to it no matter what. And anytime something pops into your reality that tries to test you or sits there and makes it seem like there is another option, you say, no. That does not exist. That is not an option. No, thank you. Next. Okay? That is the way that you choose and move forward. You actively stick with it no matter what. And I don't care. The sky could be falling, right? And this leads in to the last one, and the last two actually, right? So the next one is about knowing, right? Knowing, right? Know you're powerful. Know you are a fucking conscious creator. Know that you've created other things. Know that you are fucking God of your reality. Know it. If that means that you have to sit there and fucking manifest little tiny things, Starbucks, free food, getting a parking ticket cleared, getting, your tuition paid for, whatever you want, do it. Prove to yourself how powerful you are. Prove to yourself who the fuck is in charge. But do not sit there and second guess the stuff that you want, because it's literally just pushing it away from you. Because your fear is more important to you than your desire. And that is what keeps happening, right? So everybody keeps asking me that. Right? Well, why is it that I don't have my desire? Right there, that question, or the better one, right? But I'm doing all the work, it's just not showing up. I'm exhausted, I don't even want to do the work anymore. I know. But you know what else I hear when you say that? What I hear is fear. You're not living in a place of having it. You're living in a place of, I don't have it. I'm terrified of not having it. It keeps showing up as not having it. All I see and live in is not having it. Okay. Great, you don't have it. Bravo. I'm going to guess, though, that's not what you want. Okay? So when we know it, guys, we feel into it. This is why feeling is important. Okay? So if you feel it real, if feeling is the secret, then you need to start feeling grateful. You need to start saying thank you. You need to start feeling into the new version of yourself. Okay? Gratitude is so important. If you're not saying thank you, if you're not being super, super thankful for whatever it is that you are desiring, if you're not creating some type of gratitude in your life, if you're not making that shift where you can create that new version of you and feel into that other person, that new version, you're going to fight against that new person. So the new person, the new version of you is actively sitting there and so incredibly thankful and, abundant, and just feeling so thankful and, just so much gratitude and so generous with their life, right? Because they know they have so much to give, and they can completely be so easy and laid back and just, oh, this is so easy, thank you, right? So gracious, right? How is that possible? Well, because they realized that this is not hard. They stopped second guessing themselves. They started saying thank you. They started feeling into it. They started creating images, daydreams, little things in their head that made it so that they could start feeling into the person that they choose to be. And they started living in their mind as that person, right? If you want to be a billionaire, then you need to start creating little scenarios in your head, little stories, right? Little somethings. Even if it's a daydream, if it's a quick little story sketch, if it's a quick little inner conversation where you're having a phone call with somebody, whatever you need to do, you need to feel into that. You need to make it seem real for you. Create these moments where you actually can feel this, guys. You want to be a billionaire, then imagine yourself having a conversation with a friend. Hey, you'll never guess what happened today. Steve Jobs called me and sat there and said that he wants to work with my company because I have innovative technology and he can't wait to start a new deal with me, right? I'm making shit up, but you get my point, right? Like, this is all the kind of stuff that would be normal for you if you were living that life, right? If you want to be in fashion, okay, well, great. Then you'd be talking to somebody or walking on a runway somewhere, right? If you want to live in New York, then imagine yourself walking down the streets of New York and going shopping and eating at a restaurant and seeing all the taxis, and imagine that life. If that's who you are, then be that person. See it, feel it, right? Imagine what that would be like on a daily basis. Imagine the energy, imagine the food, imagine all of it, right? Because that's your new version. That's you. So feel her, be her or him, okay? But stop sitting there and being like, yeah, but I don't have it. Yeah, you do. You're literally a thought. You're literally a feeling away from it. Give yourself whatever it is that you want. Stop asking for somebody else to give it to you. They can't give you anything you don't give yourself. You're asking for somebody to give you a gold medal before you even sat there and entered the freaking Olympics. Go win the fucking medal. If you entered the Olympics, then you can win the medal, okay? But you gotta enter the Olympics, guys. You gotta get in the fucking game. Sitting there and just saying, oh, but I want them to change. I want them to give it to me. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, okay? We don't change anything out there. We change us, and everything else reflects it, okay? So the last one is don't give up. We don't give up, guys. We don't give up. We don't notice time. Okay, this completely just cycles back around. Okay, so if you're in your knowing, if you've decided, if you've made a decision, if you have that clarity, if you are deserving of it, then you're not gonna want to give up, because you're gonna know, right? And you're gonna have chosen, and you're gonna be clear, and you're gonna be like, fuck that, I'm fucking worth this shit. Fuck you, I'm not giving up, right? Right. So know it. Don't fucking give up. If you choose to give up, the only reason you're going to choose to give up is because, one, this is the point that you normally is your breaking point. This normally is the point where you're just like, I'm not capable of this. I'm not enough. I'm not worthy. This is too much. It's too hard. I don't know how to move forward. Okay, great. If you don't want to proceed on from that point, that's great. But that's going to become your point that you always stop at. That's your breaking point. Okay? So you're not going to push yourself. You're not going to know what your boundaries are until you set them. Okay? And as well, You're not going to be able to move into a new version of yourself unless you push through being uncomfortable. You cannot grow in comfort. You can't. I'm sorry, you just can't. So if you want something new, if you want something different, if you want something you've never had, you have to do something different. Stop doing the same stuff you've already done. Stop it. You're trying to create something new. Great. You're trying to have a better version of you. Great. You're trying to sit there and make it so that you have an incredible life that's fabulous and abundant and blessed and wonderful. Great. I'm so happy for you. Stop doing the same shit that you used to do. Stop it. If everything that you used to do was so fucking good, you'd already have it. Yeah, I said it. So the old version of you, the version of you that you're sitting there fucking stuck in, that won't move forward, that can't sit there and figure things out, that constantly says things are hard and sits there and asks tons of questions and constantly is like, oh, but it's not here yet. And what about the time? And what about this? No. That version of you, you need to do something different. Change stuff up. Make it uncomfortable for yourself. Yes, there is a way to make it uncomfortable. Push. Make yourself grow. Be honest with yourself. Know what you want. Make a decision. Move forward. Be bold. Be fierce. Be brave. Know that you are God of your reality. Choose you. And everyone else will choose you too. Stop sitting there and asking questions. You have the answers. You. Yes, you. You have all the answers. You do. You always did. No one else can treat you any different than how you choose to treat you. So if you're sitting in a place where you're not happy, you're miserable, you hate your life, you're depressed, you're anxious, you're worried, you're fearful, you're scared, you need to get it in your head what it is you want. Make a decision. Okay? Make a decision. Know it's yours. And then if you get to step number 5 and you want to give up, you start over again. You start over at, I deserve this. I'm worthy of this. My self-esteem is important. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to create self-love, self-esteem, self-respect. I'm going to keep doing that every single fucking day until it happens. Okay? So we don't sit there. This is just an ongoing cycle, guys. This never ends. You get down to one point, you stop at one step, you literally just keep going. You just keep going. It doesn't matter. You don't get to stop. Okay? So if you're not pushing yourself, if you're not in your knowing, if you're ready to give up, then you start back at the beginning. And you work on your self-esteem, your self-respect, your self-concept, your self-love. And you get clear with yourself again. You get honest. You give yourself answers. Okay? You give yourself a way to move forward. And then you make a fucking decision and you move forward. Okay? So don't sit there and say to me, oh, but no more buts. The only but you get to say to me is, hey, I've got a nice butt. Other than that, no buts. Okay? There is one option. Choose your option and raise hell until it's fucking yours. Okay? I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. And I'll see you soon.